game, so it is time to dive into Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and see what happens. Send out a tweet real quick, get this going. Alright, here we go. Welcome to Amnesia, The Dark Descent. What follows is a couple of quick messages on how to get the best possible experience. Do not worry about when and how to save during gameplay. The game will take care of that for you. When you want to leave the game, just choose save and exit. You can then use continue to return to where you left off next time you start up the game. Alright, so autosave. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place and you're extremely vulnerable. Do not try to fight the enemies encountered. Instead, use your wits, hide, or even run if necessary. Wow. The interplay between light and dark is very important to the game, and because of this, it is vital to set the game correctly. Use the slider to control below to do so. Adjust it until the square at the right is barely visible. Also, make sure to play in a dark room and wear headphones for the best effect. Alright, well, I've got the minimum amount of light that I need. I think it'll be too dark otherwise. Alright, well that's clearly too. They mean the square at the left? Whatever, I'm all good with that right there. That looks good. That is all. Hope you enjoy immersing yourself in the world of Amnesia. Well, here we go.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Follow the liquid trail. New tinder boxes. I've been playing on the Vita so much lately, it's actually really kind of trippy playing on the the PlayStation controller again. Can't see shit in there. What was that? Alright. Should I go in the creepy door that opens itself? Seems logical. Hey, I got a tinderbox. Now I can go light that candle. So, couldn't I just as easily grab these candles? Only one candle, alright. No oil. I'm really not digging this no light thing. What the fuck? What is that? Beware, when standing in darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn lights on in the environment and your tinderboxes or search for other light sources. Okay, so I need some fucking light so I don't go crazy. Seems legit. If I came this way or not. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canton. Something I missed. Witnessing unsettling events will reduce your sanity. It can be increased by completing puzzles and making progress. Okay. My controller is shaking like crazy right now. Wouldn't it be unsettling to watch this box like spinning out of control in front of me? Boxes for no reason. Alright, light's good. Well, of course it isn't. Hey, a lantern. You have picked up a lantern. When filled with oil, it can be turned on by pressing square. Yeah, I even got oil. How about that? So that would have been a pretty cool idea for making a torch, no?
August 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits.
Oh. So I gotta go kill this cat named Alexander then. Yeah, I have no idea where to go. That's one thing I do dislike about these ultra dark games, is I get lost super easy. Those teeth. Like I said, I really like my broom idea. That seemed like it'd make a good torch. Man, I forget I can jump too. I could actually do something like that. Okay. I do have a serious sense of dread, so I guess that's a good sign. Something definitely is about to happen, I feel. Really wish I had that fucking lantern. Be trivia if there's like a door in here that wasn't here before. Also, I'm just looking for anything that would help me find where the fuck I'm supposed to go. What the fuck? I'm like 12 minutes into the damn game and I'm already stuck. This sucks. Okay, if I go this way, this is the fucking rocks. I can't go anywhere in here. None of this seems useful. Up? Where the fuck do I need to go, man? Boo. What's up, Dapper? I have no idea where I'm supposed to go right now. Have you played this before? There's seriously gotta be something in this fucking room I can get to. I don't play him that often, but I enjoy him from time and time again. I just started playing this because it was the free game this month, and so far I'm just very, very lost. What do you normally play? Shit, son. I don't know if that's actually gonna do me any good or not, but hey, it's something. Are there any more places I can light up? Feels like you should be able to read that, doesn't it? Oh shit, there we go. And move the right stick in the direction you want to pull it. Holy shit. Oh, I downloaded Killing Floor, but I haven't actually played that yet. I've heard good things, I just haven't gotten around to it. I actually just got a PlayStation Vita for like really cheap recently on Craigslist, and been playing a lot of that. Button choice for running. L2 is kind of unnatural.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
Yeah, I downloaded that one too. I haven't gotten around to starting it up yet, because, you know, it's Halloween season, man. I wanted to give this a try, but is a tough plant. It can be torn by hand or tools. Oh, it can't be torn by hands or tools. Interesting. I need something to cut my way or get rid of that shit. But yeah, just with it being October, I decided to give this a try instead of Metal Gear Solid. I'll probably do that one next. The other free game this month was Hue, and so far that's been, I just barely started playing it, but it's been a lot of fun so far. It's a puzzle platformer type of game. This is really gonna suck when my oil runs out down here.
You have to get out of here.
I definitely should not have lit those fucking torches earlier. Shit. Like I said.
There should be more coop rats. Let me see. And one part aqua force.
The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiment has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained from the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can, and more than in the wine cellar, to the wine cellar. It's really annoying that you have to fill up your oil. That should just kind of be normal. A slight headache. All is good on my health. Alright, cool. Chemistry pot, huh? This is my third attempt to produce artificial waste. The former compounds lacked in the pottery I need and the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and Optima are very given within the culprit. Binds them well. This time I'll attempt Aqua Regia instead of Aqua Fortis in hopes it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid and proves impractical to any use as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violent to the solution, so this is what I need to get through that wall. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I'll find an alchemic solution to my predicaments. Okay, so I gotta figure out how to make this shit with that chemistry pot. Symbols mean anything. My controller is going crazy Someday I'll return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I'm able to think of you and long for life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them just for the power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. I'm just gonna pick this thing up and keep reading it. That's where I came in at. That's where I found the first journal. Come on, let's see if there's something in another room, maybe. Not really. It's toyed with me a little bit. My controller keeps kind of vibrating at random times, and there's been some weird noises and things like that. They do a good job of making it feel like somebody's like following you, but I haven't actually seen anything yet. Yeah, like that shit with the girl. Like, what the fuck?
May 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
imagine that we will find out through the discovery of a few more letters. So the individual drawer thing is neat, but also really frustrating. I hereby offer my full attention and service to Alexander Baron of Bresdenberg. The contract will reign for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander Baron of Brandenburg is to recommend my services as the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Jarrick. Or Garrick, maybe. That clicking sound is very fucking unsettling. Yeah, that's where I came in at. Do I have anything else to get here? Well, there's a sanity meter, and apparently the more my sanity drops, the more shit's gonna get crazy. And right now, when I started the game, it said everything was crystal clear. Now it says I have a slight headache, so we will see what happens. Did you ever play or see the game Requiem, or Sanity's Requiem back on GameCube of all systems? Eternal Darkness is what it was called, Sanity's Requiem. That reminds me of that game. That game was trippy because it would do shit like make you think that your video game console had reset. Like it would go like, okay, so I hope I went the right way. That could be useful, I suppose.
"17th of May,
Yeah,
1839.
it made me jump a pinch too.
My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
That sounds familiar.
castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about floors. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
That's one of my favorite parodies ever in The Simpsons, is when Bart steals Homer's penny jar and then has to run to the school bus, and they do all the stuff where Homer's like the big boulder chasing him down the stairs, and oh shit, they do the little red cap under the garage door. That's a good parody. Apparently it fucking was. Thought I was gonna have to get a tool, and then it just cracked.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
So if it stops, you have to start over. That tomb they were talking about sounds a lot like an Egyptian tomb. Right on. That would make sense. I could see that. Fucking wall. What the hell? Astalt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Astalt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighbors. Its neighbor castle, Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as an exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twist on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. They made that the worst, like, font to try to read. Oh shit, there's more pages. The Gatherers. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that the soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Allstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in a local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of the kingdom's past. Excuse me. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in the Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Allstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? Yeah, I wish it would read all of the notes because it's actually really like the font size and the color and the lighting. It's actually kind of difficult, pain in the ass to read off the TV. But this is a port of a PC game, so it's probably better at that time. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at a castle nearby Ulstadt, and like most of the noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of this country. Interesting. Okay, but that's not a key. Oh, fuck. Well, whatever. Surely this can't be the only thing I was supposed to do in here. It's gotta be to get that damn door open, or maybe I have to come back later, I don't know. Oh, shit. Yeah, there must be a way. Can't I just knock the damn shelf? There's probably a switch somewhere. One of the books looks brighter than the others. Was it on this shelf? The one that moves? Still going with there's gotta be a switch somewhere on this wall. Was the book that you saw on that one that actually moves, or was it on one of these other shelves? This one right here. Boom. Why don't you come out? Well, it's making a noise. I mean, that's a thing, right? Put another book somewhere. back in. Oh, this was what it was talking about, where if it stops. Haha. What is this? Okay, I got it. There's 3. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. There it is. What was that? Damn it, more reading. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow to the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will be therefore sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve, whatever comes first. They can rot for all I care. Maybe I'll feed them some wine. It would in a sense solve both of my problems. Nice. And we're back to darkness. But I've got a key, so that's cool. Let's see if we can get this going. Let's see. The key works from the other room. That's great. I can't see shit. So all the noises are just getting me like somewhat comfortable, and then I'm gonna turn around at one of these points and I know there's gonna be something and I'm gonna fucking wig out, man. Yeah, I was thinking that too, in terms of hiding ghosts, because yeah, I agree. I think that's what those have to be for, is hiding from something. Lovely. Alright, I don't like that at all. I feel like I've already ransacked this room. I'm officially lost again.
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
Oh, that's me. Thought I was watching here.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
It gets really confusing to try to keep track of where you've been and where you need to go, to be completely honest. Yeah, this is where I came in at. Let me go back. Okay, let's go back. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, mother. Yep, still need those chemicals or whatever to make my acid. Wow, that's trippy. Okay, so I need to get to the wine cellar. Where the fuck is the wine cellar? Perhaps this is the wine cellar. Oh, those are the old archives. I think that's where it came. supplies down, so, you know, it's a good place to start. Okay, laboratory was where I found the pot thing. Wine cellar, come on, baby. Yeah. Okay, I used the key, so why isn't it working? Oh, I have to use the key. Got it. Beware, when standing in the darkness, your sanity will slowly drain. Turn on the lights in the environment using tinder boxes or search for other light sources. So, darkness and no light make me go something, something.
Where did the Baron go?
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime. Or at least until tomorrow.
Hey, the copyright was one of the things I needed. Damn it, I did not mean to light that fucking candle. Seems like those weapons would be useful. Though it did specifically tell me not to try to fight the monsters. Okay, so it would not tell me that unless an enemy was about to be fucking near, so that's not great. Holy shit. That is definitely a person, or a being of some sort. Okay, but I have to turn my light off. Oh, Jesus. And now I'm out of oil again. Oh, wait, no, I picked up more oil. No, I did not pick up more oil. Shit. Sanity questionable. Oh, balls. Oh fuck, that's the room I literally just walked from. Oh shit, wasn't it? Hey, light's good. Chemicals must be prepared using the appropriate apparatus, okay? So that was one door. And this was the other door out here that goes into the main room as well. Hey, good chatting with you, man. Thank you. Catch you later, brother.
Getting closer, somehow.
Way to leave me when it gets scary, by the way. Boy's like, I'm good here. I think I need to go back to the laboratory. Wait, did I not just go into the fucking laboratory? Four different chemicals. Fuck, I only got two different chemicals. Do I have to go back to the cellar? Let's go back to the cellar. Motherfucker.
happening? Oh, feels like my chest is going to burst.
My God! Wilhelm, do something!
Except we're not getting out of here.
My name is Wilhelm House of Garrick. These are my final words, my confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle of Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what the supposed knight of the order could want from me, and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid, and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past, and not the honors I've been rewarded with during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim, and do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted wholeheartedly. Ever since that day, I brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100, none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. I had my suspicions as we descended on the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. The wine tasted fine, and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolical ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes, and I can no longer... something.
Can you say that? Alexander, you piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Alright, well there's 3 chemicals at least. Chemical to go, I do believe. Oh no, I got 4 now. Let's get the fuck upstairs. happened to the fourth chemical? Did it not go? Oh, what the hell? Oh shit, I thought I had them all. Okay, one more to go. How good would it be if I didn't sit in this room? No, that's gonna be that one minute thing, damn it. I have no fucking clue where to get this fourth chemical. The game will give me a clue. Hey, what's up, wrestle nerds? Who am I talking to? Yeah, so this game is trippy as fuck so far. You've got a sanity meter and it starts fucking with you. And yeah, I've got 3 of the 4 chemicals I need to move past this presence that I can't get past. What up, Goobs? How you been, buddy? Oh, that was the staircase collapsing. I no longer have the ability to backtrack, so that's not an option anymore. Oh, fuck. Oh, really? Can I use objects to reach hard-to-reach places? Well, how about that? Have you played this before, Goobs? It was one of the free ones this month. This is actually, there's 3 games in the collection. This is just the first one. The other games this month have been really good too. I really like that, the airplane shooter game, Sky whatever. I've been playing the shit out of that on the Vita, but it's on both PlayStation and Vita, or on the PS4 and the Vita. And then that Hue game is a puzzle platformer that's a lot of fun so far too. Dude, that Vita is pretty sick, actually. I like it a lot. I do. It's really easy just to pick up and put down, which is nice, because, like, say I'm editing the show, and I just need, like, a minute, like, a couple minutes break or something like that. You just pick it up. It literally just starts wherever you last left off. Well, that doesn't fucking bode well. And I paid, honestly, dude, I got it for such a good deal. Like, I think I paid all day $80 for it, and it's a first generation, so I'm pretty happy with that. I got it off Craigslist from some kid. Dude, so I am gonna get it, but not until Black Friday, just because I can get it for like half the cost if I wait the month, and I'm a little bit low on funds right now. So I do. Fuck. Sorry. There's blood in here now all of a sudden. So bottom line is yes, I do plan on getting it, but oh balls. Well. What, $80 is like 500 up there? The Vita's in a really weird place right now because it's kind of dying in a way, but like there's still a lot of really good games for it, and you can get them pretty cheap right now, which is another nice thing about it. Ooh, the fuck's going on with all this shit now? Whoa! Oh shit, yeah. The WWE Deluxe version up here is, I think, $99. The one that it was actually a pretty cool one, though. I mean, like, I like the figure and all that shit, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with the standard, honestly. I can live with downloading everybody else's creations. So, I never had a PSP, actually. In fact, I haven't had a handheld until, like, since, like, the Game Boy Advance or something like that, so I'm not usually a big handheld guy, but the PSP has changed my... Or, I'm sorry, the PS Vita has changed my mind. I've heard really good things about the PSP. I've heard it's very, very easily hackable, and you can put a lot of emulators on it really easily. That's one thing about the Vita, is it's kind of a pain in the ass to hack. In fact, it's I've determined just not worth it. Okay. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted either. What the? Hold down R2 and do a circular motion with the right stick to turn the wheel and... Okay. But yeah, the having the handheld has been a cool little deal. Nice, dude. Yeah, the NES and the SNES Classic are really cool, but they're pretty overpriced for what they are. My understanding is you can make the same setup for like 10, 15 bucks if you just buy all the like components. It won't look like a miniature NES, but honestly, who the fuck cares? Okay, what else do I need to do here? I bet I have to turn the individual wheels. Boom. There we go. Quit fucking with me, ghost thing. Alright, let's go knock this thing out.
It's cold. It's so cold.
But yeah, so every year at Walmart they do, so for us, new games, like the standard edition costs $60, right? So if I wait till Black Friday, it's every year it's either been $25 or $24.99 or $29.99. So I can either save half or more than half just by waiting a month. And frankly, that's kind of what I want to do right now. Like I said, things are a little tight at the moment, but Survivor Series is actually pretty close to here. Jesus Christ, what the fuck, man? Survivor Series is in Houston, so it's only like 4 hours away in November. And I've never been to Survivor Series, so I'd really like to go, but we're just gonna have to see if I can make that happen or not. But yeah, I want to get more involved with Wrestle Nerds Wrestling, man. Shout out to your YouTube channel, by the way. I watched your guys' video. I love the shit you guys did with the live action with you and Ripken and Ocho, and then you transitioned into the video game. That was actually pretty cool. I really liked that a lot. We just recorded, well, last Friday now, we did our recording of our Season 4 finale show, and we kind of did a tie-in with you guys' battle rap and your Wrestle Nerds 15 show you got coming up. Wrestle Nerds Wrestling.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason for the darkness, that is?
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
Be crouching in the darkness. What the fuck? Boobs, I'm so scared right now, buddy. Good job with the fucking remote feedback on this, because it'll fucking vibrate and startle the shit out of you.
Of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect, But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
I don't know your life, dude. What the hell? Just don't know why I'm wandering around this goddamn basement to begin with. Interesting little walkway over there. I'll go check out this room first. Bollocks. One thing, dude, you fucking constantly have this impending dread that your lantern's gonna fail.
I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care, and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
No shit, dude. Rocks don't change overnight. Wasn't that door fucking open a second ago? I'm still very confused in like if I should have my, because it's like leave your lantern on or you'll go insane and won't be able to tell fiction from reality, or if you see a bad guy, kill your lantern. Okay, so it seems like we're gonna be going deeper into this fucking thing again.
What the fragrance?
Fuck.
Damascus rose.
Fuck, dude, where did I fucking come from? That just totally got me turned out. Alright, let's just do this thing. Perhaps a box could help. For whatever reason, And I can't pick up this box. Okay. God damn it. What the fuck do you mean you can't get a firm grip from there? I'm like on this bitch. Okay, we'll just go explore this room a little bit more before I jump into the creepy murder hole. I've got this sense that something's about to chase me into the fucking murder hole, dude. Oh, this is like the first room I came in. Weird. How the fuck is that? Where did I crawl through at? I'm so lost. Okay, creepy murder hole it is. Okay, that's what it was. It's this door here I went through is the same as this wall space, right? Here. And they all lead down here. Shit! I really hate that fucking shit. Jesus. It's the type of game you like get a sense of relief when you get a loading screen because you get like a second of break. And break time over. What the fuck? Ah! Oh, Jesus. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm dead. Oh, fuck. Keep out of the water. Okay. How in the fuck am I supposed to do that? Alright. We're cool. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna crouch on this little fucking box until I die, because really don't see a lot of other options. dude. This is... Fuck! Oh god. Fuck! Alright, I need a second. I gotta pee. Jesus. So there are like no seemingly great options to get through this. God, no! Oh, I really fucking hate this right now. This is seriously fucking awful. I don't even know what to do right now. Oh, fuck. I feel like it's like right on fucking top of me. Jesus fucking Christ. Damn it. Damn it, 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 damn it. No, 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 get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me! Fuck. Okay, so at least I now know what I must do, but that doesn't mean I want to do it. Oh, Jesus. This is honestly terrifying. Me, gotta run. Where the fuck do I go from here? Jesus. Oh god. Fuck, I gotta find a switch. Well, that's just not a fucking K, man. How in the fuck am I supposed to get to that wheel? so very not stoked about this whole fucking circumstances got going on. Go, 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 fucking go, god damn it! Shit. I have no light, god damn it! Fuck! Jesus. Well, I don't have a very fucking simple key. Shit. Please don't have any more water. Fuck. Block the path and run. Fucking get the fuck out of the water, please. Please be done with the water. Please be done with the water. Oh, Jesus. My heart is like pounding right now. It's that fucking water hallway was a beast, dude.
You have an ascending room. Will it take us to the inner sanctum?
It will definitely take care of the vertical part of our journey. So, you have ridden an elevator before?
Yes, the Colosseum at Regent's Park has one. It takes you to the gallery where you can view the panorama.
Good. This ride might be a little longer, and in the other direction.
Excuse me.
Please, let me go. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I just want to go home. No! Get away from me! Leave me alone!
please, please be what I think you are. No, you're just a fucking regular barrel. Oh, I would very much like to get the fuck out of here right now, but I don't know where I am. I sure hope that drill part was the only thing I needed as storage. The most remarkable thing happened as I was traveling through the Prussian woods this summer. I finally found one of the orbs I've been looking for the last 20-odd years. It's inexplicable as the Helidromus described it at the Hortus Conclusus. It was, as it was told, about an underground Mithric temple crowned with the unearthly artifact. The orb was big enough to fill my cupped hands, and the texture was smooth and jagged. Its color washed while rich. Contrast is not enough to describe its nature. It was an impossibility, an artificial paradox captured within stone. I was staying in a nearby village called Alstadt, investigating one of the antiquated trails when I finally found the cavern. I went inside and suddenly I could verify the truth of these enigmatic artifacts. They were real. As you can understand, this was the most important discovery of my life, but it has also become my greatest fear. As I entered the underground chamber, I could feel that I was trespassing. Because of my curiosity, I did my best to fight these instincts, and I fetched the orb from its place. I scrambled out of the chamber and into the woods. I could sense something was following me. It bayed loudly as it closed in. The beast, this guardian of the orb, was relentless in its pursuit. I made my way to the nearby ravine where I stumbled upon some men fishing in the lake. I tried to warn them as I passed, but fortunately they remained as I continued my escape. When I heard their cry of pain echo through the valley, I felt such a tremendous sense of relief, thinking I would be spared. Suddenly, a blue shimmering light engulfed me, and the others of the forest were washed away before my eyes. I kept running through the bleak surroundings. The trees had turned charcoal black with leaves of cinder, the ground covered in murky water. I pressed on through the drenched land as the glowing ember gave way to the rising wind and rained on me. I could hear pleading screams in the distance, and I joined as pain and fear overtook me. I fell to the ground, gasping for air. This certainly must sound strange, but I had been carried miles away across the Alps to a grassy field outside Genoa. The Guardian had taken the orb from me, but still, until the day I fear its return, sometimes I lay awake at night listening for the howling cry I heard in the forest. It's been nearly a decade since that day, and I still haven't been able to write about the incident. Oops. Whatever. Close enough.
Let's see what you have to offer. What a mess. I could have sharpened the saw, but I can sense it. It's definitely there.
After a short study, it's clear the agitation found among humans can be found in the dog. Fear and pain induces stress, which seems to trigger an endogenous response, causing the animal to burst with energy. I believe that the catalyst is produced in the brain. It's difficult to determine exactly where and what it is, but I can sense it. It reeks of cosmic genesis. There's an inherent problem in harvesting this energy since the creature is bound to die from the exercise. I must refine this process of torture to enable any real work to be done. More experiments must be performed, but it seems that only human beings are able to produce the amount necessary. It might be their ability to appreciate the severity of the process that ultimately augments their experience of terror. That's fucking terrifying. Further disappointment, the antiquarian's latest finding yielded nothing. I'm still unable to grasp the inner workings of life and its relation to the power I sense within it. I shall pursue more books on the subject, but I suspect it will be in vain since no research has been made in my particular interest. I must attempt to fill that void myself. Clearly humans emanate more of the energy I seek, but I hope animals will suffice as they would prove less of a hassle to acquire. Motherfucker. Well, that's just a whole lot of bones.
journal is gone. What would they want with my journal? July 1839. I received a letter today from the Algerian governor's office disclosing the fate of Herbert's expedition. About a week after my departure, Abdullah, one of the men traveling with us, returned from the desert. He was badly injured, as if maimed by a lion. The man rambled deliriously about the expedition being attacked by something horrible. The French quickly dispatched a search party to look for the expedition. After searching for days, they found the camp abandoned without any trace of Herbert or his men. Tomorrow, I'll retrieve the things they recovered from Herbert's tent at the customs house. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm worried for him. July 1839. Today I picked up Herbert's things at the customs house. I dug through the trove of documents he had carried and found a log detailing the expedition. The nature of this text ranged from quick notes to colourful accounts of transpired events. I skimmed the pages, trying to figure out what might have happened. May 17th, the day I was trapped inside the orb chamber, Herbert dryly states, "Recovered Daniel after 1 hour of entrapment." This confused me greatly. I was suffocating within minutes. How could I have lasted an hour? I continued reading the peculiar text. Herbert states his facts without judgment or passion, but suddenly I could read frustration into his text. He pushed his men to investigate the underground tomb, an effort which seems to have strained the minds of his men. Madness spread through the ranks, and Herbert had to take some extreme measures to continue. He finally visits the chamber himself, where he retrieves the orb to the surface. His account confuses me greatly. If he has the orb, what are those pieces in my drawing room? July 1839. It's done. The orb is assembled. I was awakened by an exhausting nightmare. Shaking and sweating, I retired to the drawing room with a cup of tea. The relic pieces lay spread across the table as I'd left them, but somehow I knew how it was supposed to be. I fetched the tar, which I had prepared to fix the pieces together, and without fault I joined them, producing the orb I remembered so clearly. The tar proved unnecessary. It was pushed out from the joining pieces as they merged on their own, with no adhesive. The ancient stone relic now rests on my table. Its immaculate surface and perfect shape could have been molded by a factory. This is all too strange.
Well, holy shit. I think the coast is clear. I think I need that key, and I don't think I have it. I don't know if it was in that room or not. Might be in that fucking basement. Ugh. Still have no fucking oil, which sucks. Definitely don't want any fucking water anymore after that last level. So it's locked still. So I either have to go back into that storage room or back in that spare bedroom. But this is definitely not the case. But we are coming up on 2.5 hours for this one, and I do believe I am going to have to let this one go for now, because, frankly, my heart's had enough for one night. I feel that's completely fair. Fuck all that noise. I kind of feel, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go up here in this bedroom one more time before I call it a night. I just really feel like I missed something. Goddamn beast scare. So there was literally nothing in here but a jump scare? There it is.
Thank God, there it is. I guess it is a good place to hide it then.
What is it? Well, there we go. And we're on to the machine room. Fucking A, kids. And I was about to quit. I always call it at night, which I still am, but we're gonna go get in that machine room first.
July, 1839. Today, I went to the university looking for answers. I was able to sneak into Herbert's office and pick up an address book along with some relevant textbooks. Professor Taylor at the Faculty of History was very helpful, and I managed to approach the subject of the orbs. The most interesting aspect was the prevalent trace they had left in our culture. The mythic orbs may, in fact, have inspired the globus cruciger, which so many royal regalia holds to this day. In ancient times, the orbs were held by priests as a symbol of the sun and its power. As I was leaving, I overheard a disturbing conversation. Sir William Smith, the geologist, was killed last night. Less than a fortnight had passed since I'd asked for his expertise. I know it's silly, but I can't help feeling responsible somehow.
Note that there are only 2 spare rods left in storage for the elevator machinery. Make sure to only discard the ones that are badly damaged and keep the others in the inner study room in case all 3 would crack again. Might be in the study.
14th of July, 1839. I've read every book I can find on the subject. While rich in legend and hearsay, my knowledge is lack for the insight I crave. I've sent letters to many in Herbert's address book and received answers of varying importance. Today, I got one which differed greatly from the others. From a baron in Prussia. He said nothing about the quaint stories of priests in underground temples. He didn't even mention them. He simply wrote, "I know. I can protect you. Come to Brennenburg Castle." Signed, Alexander. What am I to make of this? Protect me from what? Is someone after me? I looked up Brennenburg and traced it to the Prussian woods near the Baltic Sea. While being the least informative letter I've received, it causes me greatest distress and interest. As I write, my thoughts are drawn to my nightmares in which a most disturbing sound calls to me. A sound defying description. A voice from the void. The last few weeks have been awful, with so many sleepless nights dreading a repeat of those horrid dreams. Tomorrow, I shall visit my physician, Dr. Tate, in hope that he can provide me with sedatives to help me sleep.
What could go wrong?
"17th of July, 1839. How has this escaped me? They're all dead. Limbs scattered, heads split down the middle, their skin flayed as if boiled. I feel like I'm falling into myself. What's happening? Sir William Smith, Professor Taylor, now Dr. Tate. Is it following me? How can it not be? It's the damn thing I brought from Africa. Something is after me. I have no choice but to trust the Baron. He better know what he claims. If he is wrong, I suspect he'll regret it as well."
Oh, so wrong.
Still missing a cog. I was literally about to say I'm about to call it a night, but fake out number 2. Damn it, throwing that motherfucker. Alright, let's see what the fuck happens here. Machinery needs more work before it repairs. What the fuck else does it need, dude? Okay, so that connects to that, which connects to that, which connects to this. Which connects to this. So I just need something to burn. And I can't figure out how to get the coal in here. Even though that would make a fuck ton of sense, wouldn't it? gonna be really mad if it's the fucking coal with the shovel the whole time and I just didn't figure out how to do it right. That might piss me off to some extent. Alright, I'm going to go exit to the other room to trigger a save point, hopefully. I am quite frankly getting a headache. We're gonna call this a night. Awesome. Well, this game's intense. Definitely will be continuing some more of it throughout the month of October. I got all 3 of them to get through between now and October 31st. So, thanks for tuning in. Check out the Best Darn Dilly Review Show, my weekly Simpsons podcast at bestdarndilly.com, and we will see you I'll see you next time for some more of whatever the fuck this is called, Amnesia.